Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 47 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be turning .py files into .exe files. So the file that we're going to be converting is this calculator that we finished last class. So let's run this. We can do some basic operations like 1 plus 2 equals 3 times 3 is 9, divided by 3 is 3, and then divided by 0 would be input error. Alright, so this is a good file to represent. So now on top, I'll write how we turn .py files into .exe. So I'll give this a title, how to install the library and package the .py files. Okay, so first let's talk about how to install the library. So turning .py files into .exe files for PySimpleGUI needs their own library. So downloading or installing the library takes 3 steps. 1, we can press Window plus R to open the command prompt. And we can open the command prompt by typing in cmd to run command. Then number 3, we can type in, remember this has to be the exact same, pip install PySimpleGUI exe maker. If even one character is off, then you won't be able to download the exe maker. And then now how to package the .py files. So assuming the command prompt is closed, first thing we do is again press Windows plus R to open the command prompt, and then same thing as last time, we can type in the cmd to run command, and lastly, this one is different. Instead of installing, we type in Python m PySimpleGUI -exe maker .PySimpleGUI exe maker. Alright, so let's show you this using the command prompt. So we press Windows R, and then we type in cmd here, in this over here, and we press enter. Now this comes into this. Now let's type in this first. So we write pip install pysimple -exe maker. So now when we press enter, this should be installed. Okay, let's try this again. Pip install PySimpleGUI exe maker. Okay, now this is working. Okay, so this says requirement already satisfied over here, and disregard this warning. 19.1.1 is already compatible with our PySimpleGUI, so it's good. By the way, since we already installed PySimpleGUI, it shows this. Normally, if you haven't installed PySimpleGUI, it would show something else. But after you finish installing PySimpleGUI, let's X this to do the package. Of course, you can stay on this and simply type in this, but let's show the opening the command prompt again. So we press Windows R, and then we write cmd here, and then this time let's type in this Python m PySimpleGUI exe maker .PySimpleGUI exe maker, no space. When we press enter, this would show up. So this is a window that PySimpleGUI themselves made to turn .py files into .exe files. Alright, so here we have two buttons for browsing. This button browses for .py files. So let's use lesson 47, this lesson's code, for example, which would be this code right here. So, and then let's choose an icon. Icons has to be this their own file type called .ico. PNG, JPG, GIFs all won't work. It has to be ICO, and you can convert those through online converters such as this one. I used convertico.com to convert my PNG file into my .ico file. Alright, so we select this one, and then even though they ask for this, if you don't write anything here, it'll still work. Okay, so now when we are finished selecting, we can click Make EXE here. Now there will be a bunch of things that pop up. You don't need to understand any of this. Just look out for at the end when all of the EXE, when it's done converting to EXE, something will pop up. This might take a while. Alright, so now this is done. Whenever there's 4 stars and then done, that means this is done. Now the exe file that was created is inside the same folder as the file that we selected, lesson 47, and it would be this one, lesson47.exe. We can close this now by pressing quit, and we can close the command prompt. So now let's select this and run it, and as you can tell, this calculator comes out. The functions are still the exact same. Alright, but if you would look at the size, the normal file was 2 kilobytes. Now this file is 23,000 kilobytes. This is like 10,000 times the size of this one. That is the problem with exe files, but there's good things about exe files too. .py files can only be run if the computer has downloaded and installed the Python. But with exe, any computers can run exe. We just convert the .py file into binary. And another way of using .py, if we want, like if we run the if we run this using the Python launcher, then this would still achieve the same window, but behind this we have this interface. If we're giving this to a user, we don't want this interface to pop up. This is for basically for developers and for middle results, so we don't want the final users to be seeing this. So if we don't want to make this file so big but still not show the interface, we can let's make a copy of this first so I can show you. Let's call this copy, and we can change the extension from .py to .pyw, and then once we press enter, it asks if we want to, and we press yes, and now the file type is .pyw. This type of file, when we run it, the console no longer shows up. We just have this by itself. It is basically the same thing as the .exe file, but similar to .py, this has to have Python downloaded on the computer already in order for this to run. If we look at the code, we can easily edit this with IDLE, and we can still see the code. Now, if we don't want the user to get the code we used, we can use the .exe, because this converts the Python file into binary, like 0 and 1s. So like that, the user will no longer be able to tell the code that we used. All right, that concludes lesson 47 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, crack the coding enigma with work for tuition as your sigma.